So yesterday around 10 a.m., a woman who lives in the city of Providence in the Silver Lake section received a phone call from a man, which she described as a Mexican dialect of voice. And the man told her that he had her daughter and would harm her daughter if she didn't wire him $1,000. He said that he had her daughter in Miami, which her daughter does live in Miami. He knew names. It sent her into a panic. So she was taken by a relative to a bank where she collected the money. And then the phone call again, and she was instructed to proceed to a Stop and Shop where she wired the money to a number that was provided to her. From there, she was told to go into the Lowe's department store, which is across the way from the Stop and Shop. And this is the Garfield Street Plaza in Cranston. This was 11 a.m. They notified the Providence Police at 12 p.m. We started investigating. By 3 o'clock, we had notified Cranston Police and the FBI because we could not find this woman. So we began a search, a grid search, and then we pinged the phone. That didn't yield great results because we couldn't get close enough. But we kind of had an idea what area she was in. So later on, now it's getting on 7 o'clock, 7:45, she finally calls and says she is at the Lowe's, and that's where we were able to locate her. She was at the Lowe's from 11 o'clock in the morning to 7:45 at night. They were on the phone with her, telling her, "Do not leave here. We're watching you. We will, we'll harm you. We'll harm your family." In the meantime, what they do is they scare them. They send them into like this shock that they're gonna do harm to the family, right? Then they isolate them, just like they did there. Go to the Lowe's. If you pick up this phone again, we'll see you, and we'll harm your family. Then, but in the meantime, they're calling her daughter in Miami and saying, "Look, we have your mother, and we're going to do harm to her unless you send us money." So now they've got both ends going on. The daughter went to the Miami police, who called us. So we knew she was safe. And luckily, the FBI is going to be handling this case. We've turned it over to them. They've handled several of these in the past few months. The agent assigned to us had told us what the norm is, and usually that's what they do. They send them into fear, panic, they isolate them, and they try and work it where they can get as much money out of the whole family as they can. Usually, and right on, said it's from Mexico, where we believe the money was wired to. There was no one local that was watching them. But when you put fear like that into a woman, in her 60s who believes that her daughter's life is in danger, they lose kind of perspective of what's going on. And they get into this. I mean, to think that she was in Lowe's from 11 in the morning till almost 8 o'clock at night. And one of the agents said, what they do to them is and he used a good word, they almost hypnotize them into this state that they're in. And that's how, these innocent people are taken advantage of. So we wanted to get the word out there, and we wanted to make sure that everybody, stays safe. Anytime you get a call like that, call the party that they're referring to right away. If it says your daughter, call her, and then call us next if you can't contact, because they will try and separate you, and they will try and get you into such a mindset that you will be totally out of it. She said, at that point, she said she would have sent them as much money as she could. So, you know, their plan worked. We just want to make sure that no one else gets harmed by these people.